Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video, I'm gonna be real. I made like 3 or 4 like Raid Shadow Legends videos in the last couple of weeks, and I just have not liked them, so I haven't like put them out because I would much rather like put out nothing than to put out crap or what I would consider to be crap. In this video, what I'm going to do is actually go over a concept that is, I won't say it's new to me. Well, because of this game, I've had to kind of rethink how I handle upgrading and leveling up champions and so on and so forth. Before in previous games, you just kind of level up who you have and you take them into much more simplistic roles. With this game, it's a little bit more in depth than that. And this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's basically value over replacement. So what happens in this game is that you need to have defined roles for each of your teams as you go up. Like, of course, when you first start out in certain dungeons or certain arenas, then you just put the strongest champions you have, put them in there, and then just hope for the best. Well, at a certain point, you're going to have champions that have duplicate roles or duplicate abilities in the sense of, do I want to do this one or do I want to do this one based on their ability and what other things they provide. So the ones I'm going to use as an example for this are going to be War Maiden, Stag Knight actually, who I have not worked on, Madam Ceres, and Abyss. So we'll just start off with the idea here is that I'm looking at decreased defense. Decreased defense is what you're going to use in a lot of dungeons, in arena as well, just to weaken the opponent so it's easier to take them out. Now, Abyss, I think Stag Knight as well, Madam Ceres, and War Maiden all have AoE decreased defenses. And I'm going to go ahead and take Stag Knight out and show you, or do I already have him out? He might already be out of the vault by now. So Stag Knight I have not worked on at all. And I'm going to explain why and kind of go in reverse order from Abyss down to War Maiden. Let's see. Where are you? Stag Knight. Oh, maybe he's not right here. Hold on. Well, where are you, sir? Oh, there he is. Stag Knight. And actually, is my War Maiden out or did I already? Yep, and War Maiden. All right, so we're going to remove them from the vault. Now, War Maiden was one of those champions I had at the very beginning. That as many of us do. And I had her and I was leveling her up only because I was watching YouTube videos that said that she was great. I had no real understanding of why she was great. And the concept behind it isn't like a difficult one, but I just never put that much thought into it. And I was just, every time I was watching a YouTube video and they were like, this champion's great, this champion's great because of this, this, and this, I was like, oh, they're great, let me level them up. And there were a lot of resources wasted because I was just leveling up based on every single video that I saw which ones should go. So before we get into all of this, I drop Raid Shadow Legends videos weekly, DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Marvel Future Revolutions videos every Tuesday and Thursday. So please like, please subscribe, and if you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. So before or as we get into this, we're discussing AoE decreased defense, and let's just say it's in Dragon's Lair. Okay, Dragon's Lair 20. I haven't even made the push to levels 25 yet. I probably should do that at some point, right? All right, so anyway, so as we go down, as I'm looking for Stag Knight again, Stag Knight just hides from me. I can't find him to save my life. All right, so skills. First, it is on the A1, spot quarry. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a decreased speed. Okay, so decreased speed, there we go. Attacks all enemies, has a 70% chance, 100% when booked, of placing a 60% decreased defense and a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Awesome. And then on this one, increases, places a 50% increased accuracy on all allies each time the ally has a debuff resisted by an enemy. That seems, okay, that seems very, I don't know, arena-ish. But anyway, so we're focused on the decreased defense. Now on this decreased defense, he gives decreased defense and decreased attack on the same move, 70% chance to place it. Yeah, so it does, and it actually does cause damage. So now I'm gonna go and say, I just pulled Stag Knight. Let's just go ahead and make that up. I just pulled Stag Knight. I have War Maiden, I have Madam Ceres, and I have Abyss. Now I'm gonna go first at Abyss and show you from the top down. Abyss has a decreased defense as well. So on her, but I'm gonna read through the entire kit because as you're going through this, You're trying to figure out how they're going to fit into that role and if they can add any extra value as alongside that decreased defense. Now, the role I'm looking for, like I said, Dragon Slayer, decreased defense. Best has attacks when enemy, remove one random buff from this champion and places it on the target. On the A2, attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance when booked of placing a 60% decreased defense. And then Divine Wrath attacks all enemies. Damage inflicted is proportional to either the champion's attack or the target's defense, or attack stack, whichever is highest, and extra crit damage, blah, blah, blah. Now, she hits hard as hell. One thing that I'm noticing immediately as a decreased defense champion is that with Stag Knight, I had decreased attack and decreased defense, which weakens them in terms of if they come back and hit me, but also I hit harder if I hit them. So that's a big plus. With the best, the problem is, and it's not so much problem, but she has an AoE decreased defense. However, based on her Divine Wrath, I want her to be my nuker. I want her to be the one causing damage. I want her the one to be wiping out the waves or wiping out whatever arena team I'm facing. So if I'm looking for that, then the decreased defense, even though it's great, is secondary. So at this point, I'm thinking I'll run Stag Knight with Abyss because they both put down decreased defense, and if she happens to not kill them, she'll still put decreased defense down. However, Stag Knight, I'll make him a little bit faster, make him put down the decreased defense on all of the enemy, and then she'll hit with her A3 or A2 and wipe them out. That would be the ultimate goal. So in this situation, what I would do is I would go ahead and say, you know what? On that Dragon's Dragon Layers team, I'm not going to remove Abyss. I'm going to remove another champion and put Stag Knight in place so that he and Abyss can run together. Now, this is all ignoring affinity, and I understand that he's green, she's red, blah, 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 blah. Just ignore affinity for the moment, because that does come in as a factor. But right now, I'm focused purely on their abilities, their skills, and what they do. Now, we'll drop down to Madame Ceres. Madame Ceres on her A1 attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a fear debuff for one turn, which actually it feels like it procs more than that. This chance increases by 30% if the target is under 1 debuff, increases to 45% if the target is under 2 debuffs or more. Maybe that's why I feel like it procs more. All right, then on the A2, come on now. Attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of stealing one random debuff from each target, blocks, places a block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns if any buff is stolen, places a true fear for 1 turn on enemy whoever have buffs stolen. Awesome. That's a pretty awesome ability there. And then we come here to the Midnight Ritual A3, removes all buffs from enemies, places a 50% decreased attack and a 60% decreased defense on all enemies for 2 turns. I can go ahead and tell you this attack, it doesn't actually attack, it just says removes all buffs. So there's no damage behind it. It's just strictly decreased defense and decreased attack. And then the passive is that she'll put a shield on herself. Ooh. Places a shield on this champion equal to 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. When attacked under a shield buff, 35% chance of placing a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. So first things first, Midnight Ritual. That's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, right? It used to be a 3-turn, then they nerfed her a little bit. I'm going back over to Stag Knight. His is on a 3-turn cooldown. So that gives him a bit of an advantage. That means I am able to keep decreased defense and decreased attack on them a little bit more often. I'm able to do it more often. Okay, so there's a plus there. Now over here, when it comes to this, he's laying down decreased speed, slows down the enemy. That's great. However, she puts down fear. And so that gives a 50-50 chance that they won't be able to attack at all. She also steals buffs, places block debuffs on all allies if any buff is stolen, and then also places a true fear on the enemy who had the buff stolen from them. So based on what I'm reading from her kit right now, if I pull Stag Knight and I'll run Madame Ceres on my arena teams, do I want Stag Knight to replace Madame Ceres? Based on what I'm reading right now, no. And I said don't worry about affinity, but in this situation, I'm going to worry about affinity a little bit just because Madame Ceres is void. He is spirit. So that tells me she's going to be neutral all over. He'll have his advantages and disadvantages whenever it comes to it, but I can guarantee that she's just going to be neutral all across the board. So I don't, and then this increased accuracy is kind of a very specific passive to me. She has, from my perspective, I know when you get up into higher levels of arena stuff, that matters, but right now where I am, it does not. And so the passive that she has in terms of giving herself shield is far better to me than what he has to offer. So Stag Knight is not going to take up the place of Madame Ceres in my arena team. I don't put her in like Dragon Slayer, but if I did, I would still prefer Madame Ceres to Stag Knight just because of the true fear and the chance that they won't be able to attack based on that. And she does the decrease attack and decrease defense. So I'm not going to use Stag Knight to replace my Madame Ceres in either of those situations. So now we go to War Maiden. War Maiden on her A1 has attacks enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 1 turn. Then on the A2, opportunity strikes. Attacks by enemy, places a 50% increase attack buff on this champion and places an extra hit. If this attack is critical, the extra hit cannot be critical, which is, well, she's rare, I guess. And then on the A3, Crumbling Blast attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, 100 when booked, and places a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Now, in this situation, she places decreased defense. Stag Knight places decreased defense and decreased attack. You have here where she's placing increased attack only on herself, and then the second attack won't even be critical. That puts at a big disadvantage to me. And then you have this where it's just placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 1 turn. So, and Stag Knight places a decreased speed. So for me, if I'm running her on my Dragons team and her job is to decrease defense the entire wave so that a best can attack and wipe them out, I would rather have Stag Knight in there because he's going to put decreased attack and decreased defense. So that way, if they do get a chance to come back and hit me, they won't be hitting as hard, etc. So that is the process or the thought process that I try to use and that I adopted months into the game to evaluate, okay, I've pulled this champion. I think he's awesome. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. What role do I see him fitting in? Okay, the person who's already occupying that role on my Dragons team, on my Arena team, is he better than that person? Does he bring more to the table than Madame Ceres? To me, no. For what she does, no, I don't think so. She's removing all the buffs, putting down decreased defense and decreased attack. For him, boop, 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 we go back over here. He's attacking all the enemies, but he's not removing any of the buffs, and he's placing decreased defense and decreased attack. I would rather remove their buffs and give them that as opposed to attacking them and then giving them these debuffs. So that's how that works. Now, all of that to say is I have I have a chicken and 4 5-star champions ready to be put into a level 50 champion right now. So what I'm going to do is kind of evaluate what I want. As you can see, I have Geomancer at level 50. The idea behind him is he will be clan boss. I have Vogoth, which from what I understand, Vogoth is used a lot in Platinum Arena, maybe even Gold 4 Arena. I'm okay with Gold 4. I'm not going to make a Platinum push because I'm not putting money into this game, and that's the only way you get into Platinum. And then I have Fushan, who probably would take the place on the Arena team as one of my Arena leads. So what I'm going to do is try to read through their kits. Oh, and one thing that puts it in Vogoth's favor just a little bit is that one of the missions that I need to complete for my Arbiter is having a 6-star spirit, which I already have, and I thought they would count it like they do with that other stuff sometimes, but they didn't count it. They want me to do it when the mission comes up, which sucks. So what I'm going to do is read through their kits and then try to make a decision based on what I already have on those teams, which one would be best for me to 6-star. So on his A1, attacks all enemies, has a 30% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy for 2 turns. Decreased accuracy becomes relatively important the higher up you go. I'm using him in my clan boss. I'm only on like Nightmare clan boss right now, not Ultra Nightmare. So anyway, removes all buffs from target enemy, then attacks them. Steals all buffs instead if the target is under an HP burn placed by this champion. Reduces the cooldown of Quicksand Grasp by 2 turns. Ooh, by 2 turns, that's a lot. If the target is killed by the skill while under HP burn placed by the champion. So now, well, let's go ahead and read it all the way through, then I'll discuss it. Fully depletes the target's turn meter. Fills this champion's turn meter by the amount that the target loses. Has a 75% chance of placing HP burn and 25% weaken debuff on the target for 3 turns. And if I book that up, that is up to 100. And then that could be on a 3-turn cooldown. I don't have any epic books at the moment. And it'll probably be a long time before I can book him out. Let's see what all the books he needs. That puts it there. Yeah, he needs a lot of books. And then on the passive ability, Stone Guard. And this is the one that's going to make it a hard decision for me. I do like Quicksand Grasp, but this is the one that's going to make it hard for me. And this is what makes him, from what I've understood, great for clan boss. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15%. And deflects that damage onto each enemy under HP burn placed by this champion whenever this champion is attacked. Deflects 30% of the damage instead. So now, when it comes down to this, for clan boss, I know you can put as many poisons on the clan boss as you want, but you can only put 1 HP burn. Now, the champion I have in right now that he would probably replace is Ninja. Ninja puts down an HP burn. It's either Ninja or Iron Braga, but the reason why I'm going to take out Ninja is because Ninja puts down an HP burn. I can only put 1 HP burn on the clan boss, so I'd rather have his HP burn, the one that is up on the boss, and then that way all of these benefits that I get from this passive will work. If Ninja's HP burn is already there, then he won't be able to lay down, then Geomancer won't be able to lay down the HP burn. That's the whole thought process. With the Quicksand Grasp, I have to be honest, the first time I read it, I kind of went over it really quickly. However, if I build him the right way, I mean, he could be a negative affinity tank for spiders 20. He could be a tank in general, but also he's grabbing turn meter, and I really do like that. I love when champions grab turn meter. And then the aura is HP in all battles by 25%. Whatever. All right, so to me, I would use him to replace Ninja. I think I would want to build him up with very, very high HP and virtually no defense. Oh, there's accuracy there, and I might need accuracy. But I would build him up with a lot of HP and no defense whatsoever, just so like I'm getting a lot of HP knocked off of me and hopefully deflecting that back. Although accuracy might be necessary. Although I think once I complete my accuracy set that he'll have enough back. We'll see. I haven't even done his masteries yet. But we'll see how much accuracy I can get onto him. And then maybe just go ahead and do but. And this is the other thing too. As I'm talking through this, as I really would if I was by myself. I don't know that I care about him doing any damage. And right now I think I have crit damage gloves on him. And that might be changed for HP gloves. Because it doesn't matter if he crits really, because none of his abilities say, and if it's critical, it gives us extra benefit. And what the damage I want to reflect is going to be from the passive. If he hits, great, fantastic. However, the main goal is to reflect that damage and to make sure that HP burn gets laid down. So that's the thought process there. I may take away those gloves and make them into HP gloves. Now, Vogoth. Let's go to Vogoth. Vogoth. Come on now, fingers work. Okay, here we go. So, skills for the Vogoth. Horrendous Strength. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 30% chance, 40% when booked, increasing the duration of 1 random debuff on the target by 1 turn. I like that. Actually, and going back to Geomancer, I was legitimately thinking also taking Iron Braga off my clan boss team to decrease their defense. Raglan would still be lead, so she would still be giving that 33% increased defense aura, and then replacing Iron Braga was out of maybe Vogoth. If Vogoth was 6-star, I'm having to pick. Oh no, Aeox will Remember, because Aeox will Remember can extend the duration of debuffs. So that's what I was thinking there. All right. Wave Revulsion attacks all enemies, has a 60% chance of placing a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn, has a 60% chance of placing, and I think this goes up to 75 when booked, of placing a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns on targets who receive the provoke from this skill. So provoke and decrease attack. That sounds nice. Now his 2 passives are where the money's made. Whenever this champion is attacked, Heals all allies by 50% of the damage received, which also lends towards building him with a lot of HP and no defense. Only heals by 25% received from a boss attack. This champion only receives half of the healing that all other allies receive. Good. Alright, now on his other passive, Eerie Presence. When attacked, places a leech buff on the attacker for 2 turns. So outright, that's what happens. If the attacker is under provoke, debuff placed by this champion also has a 70% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on that attacker by 2 turns. Occurs once per attack, so that's not really that great. I mean, it's good, but I'm not really. I mean, it's okay. I think it's okay. And then increases ally attack in all battles by 40. Or increase accuracy, sorry. I'm leaning towards Geomancer a little bit more at the moment. So Fushan, a legendary. Howl. I thought wolves howl, not lizards. Attacks one enemy, this is the extended version, has a 25% chance of placing an extra hit. Okay. On his A2, Frightful Claws attacks all enemies. Each hit has a 20%, 35% chance when booked, placing a stun for 1 turn. Does that like hit hard though? Actually, you know what? Let me go to a Yumi Love. A Yumi Love.net. Alright, so Fushan. Let's check his multipliers. Does his A2 hit like a beast? His A2 does not hit like a beast. His A1 does decent though. So it's just a 35% chance to place ton on a 3-turn cooldown. Like that's, I mean, for a legendary, that's not so legendary, right? Or is that just me? I mean, still the Drakes is still better at this point. Attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff. So attacks 4 times at random, so it's not even AoE. I have AoE champions that, and you just saw, from rare to legendary that plays decreased defense, like basically guaranteed on everyone, not for random. So no. And then ally speed in all battles by 24%. If I'm not mistaken, my Gorgorab does 23. So I'm not willing to sacrifice 6 chickens on 1% for the aura. Yeah. All right, so Fushan is out of the running. I'm not gonna do Fushan. I'm leaning heavily towards Geomancer. Phoenix is one that I was thinking of as well, because he has a block revive on his A1, and that would help me a lot with Ice Golem, dealing with that mess. So, and he hits hard on his multipliers as well, if I'm not mistaken. And he would be the spirit affinity that I would need in order to get closer to Arbiter. On his A1, he hits hard. On his A2, he hits pretty hard. On his A3, ouch. It's a beast. All right, so Phoenix, Geomancer, or Vogoth. Now, Phoenix, the problem is that I know he hits hard. I know he's a good champion. However, the main thing I would be looking for is would be for Ice Golem. And I'm not sure that's worth it in terms of the rewards that you get back in terms of farming. I don't really farm Ice Golem that much anyway. And maybe part of that is because my team takes like 15 minutes to beat the Ice Golem or whatever. Geomancer. As far as clan boss is concerned, I want to improve my efficiency in terms of using keys. I want to one day get the ultimate clan boss. I have not done that yet. And I feel as though if I were, because like right now I average around like 12 million on a Nightmare clan boss per key, which means I have to use like oftentimes 4 keys just to get through clan boss. But if I use Geomancer, maybe that boosts it up to like 15 to 20 million, which then means I can just use 1 or 2 to 3 keys to get past it, and it's not such an issue. So, since I'm already dealing with Ice Golem, and I feel as though I could build a team that would be better for Ice Golem and get it down to like 6, 7, 8 minutes, I don't need Phoenix. Phoenix is a luxury. He'd be great to have. That block revive would make sure those minions do not revive. However, I would be 6-starring him for like one specific thing. Geomancer would be good in other areas. However, the one specific thing that I'm trying to get him better for is for clan boss, which I'm not to ultimate clan boss yet. Clan boss rewards can include shards, gear, things like that. So I feel as though Geomancer is a smarter investment for me to take 6-star. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then I'm gonna call it a video. I hope you guys found this helpful. This was just some of the like mistakes that I learned from and just trying to pass on like, hey, this is not cool. Alaric. Oh, Alaric can go. I wanted Alaric to be good so bad, and I've already fed one of them, and here's the second one I'm feeding. Like, ugh. I wanted Alaric to be good so bad. He looks awesome. His design is incredible. All right, so I'm going to take Geomancer 6-star and then work on him immediately. Start on his masteries and everything. So, thank you guys for watching all the way through. Please like, please subscribe. Check out the links below for some movie recommendations. I just watched Batman Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2. That was incredible. It was an absolutely amazing animated movie. Loved it. I want to watch it again really, really soon. It was really, really good. So definitely recommend that. So in any case, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.